Hello and welcome. I am Zerbraxi, and we're taking a quick look at another feature in Guild Wars 2. Today we're going to be checking out the in-game store, which is currently called the Black Lion Trading Company. It's also known as the gem store there because, well, you buy your gems. The basic point of this will be, because the game does not run off a subscription fee, it'll instead use in-game store to obviously give it the money that it needs to continue to survive and produce further content for you. It'll be similar to the Manco store, like in TF2, and stuff that you see in other games like League of Legends or Dota, and other MMOs as well. The nice thing about this store, from so far that I'll end up going through and we'll check out some of the items, but for the most part, none of them look like they're going to give you any real advantage, which I guess is the big point, right? So let's go through and get an idea, just a general idea. Now, of course, this is the beta version, so a lot of this stuff is totally unfinished. Prices may not be final. I think for the most part, they're going to offer you a rough idea of what they currently are. But for the most part, let's check them out. So this is just the home page where you can search whatever you wanted in your recent purchases here. And on the left, you can trade gems for gold or trade gold for gems. Now, I'm not sure. Let's see how much I can put in. Let's see if I can put in 41 silver. What do I get? I get 72 gems. That's what I have roughly. So how much is it per copper? Let's give it a shot. It's probably nothing. Yeah, maybe 10? See if we can get a decent exchange. 20? No. 25? No. 1? No. Okay. So yeah, you basically, it's roughly, what is that? Kind of a rough, probably like a gem, and probably like every silver, you get the idea. Yeah. I don't really know what it's going to come out to math-wise. Anyway, so you can trade in the gold for gems, which is nice, so that you can actually not have to buy the gems with real money. You can actually use your in-game currency, which is nice. The trading post, which is similar to the auction house in the game, you can also find right through this menu, which you can just pop up pressing O at any time. You can put up your items here as well, see what you're doing, or see what you have going up, your transactions, your history, all of that, and pick up. So you can pick up the gold, obviously, that you've made. So let's kind of go through these really quickly. Right now, the promotion that's going on is the Evan Nash Blades Box of Fun, which I actually pulled it up. So basically, you put it down for 5 minutes every 15 seconds. Anybody can go up to it and actually get some sort of buff, whether it be, so it's purely cosmetic, just to have a bunch of fun, a bunch of nonsense. You can get one box for 200 gems, or this here, which is 5 boxes for 800 gems, and it looks like this is the gift feature, and that says it's not implemented yet, so that's there. Now, this is the one that I think, at least for me, I'll probably end up spending money on, which is the style, to kind of give yourself a little bit of something. So let's check out some of these. This is the aviator glasses, kind of dubbing out in the like Maverick style over here. Get some boxing gloves, and go Mike Tyson on people with the Guild Wars 2 little logo there. It's kind of cute. A chef's outfit, which personally I think looks terrible besides the frying pan. That's totally there, but I guess some people might like that. The inventor sunglasses right there. The pirate captain's outfit, which just looks amazing. And if you combine that with the aviator sunglasses, you can get some fancy looking pirate. Some reading glasses. Ringmaster's hat, which looks like, at least in the preview it just looks brown, but here in the actual menu it looks like the hat worn by Willy Wonka in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But the beanie, sailor's beanie, you gotta have yourself a little beanie. Some sport sunglasses so you can be so cool. And of course an infamous top hat. Now the problem I have with this top hat is actually not the top hat being little and off to the side, but what it does to your hair. I don't know, not a fan of that. And the wide rim sunglasses, so you totally look like Ronald Jenkins or something. Now the consumables, your transmutation stones, basic and fine, are there. They're basically, if you play World of Warcraft, they're your transmogrification stones, basically, so you can transmog gear in those games. It basically just changes the attributes of an item, the appearance of one item to that of another. So you can have gear that is still the best at max level, but it looks like a different piece of gear, so that way you can look the way you want. The cow finisher, which these are actually pretty neat. When you kill somebody in PvP, it actually does usually something a little bit. I know I have a couple of the rabbit ones where it'll have like a little bunny that kind of jumps out and a bunch of little rabbits that are running around. totally just to make people mad, is what it feels like. The die pack, which just contains a bunch of random die, Forge Stones, tournament tickets, which you can use to get into tickets, and Mystic Keys, which you can use to open up Mystic boxes like this here. I have 3 Mystic chests, and you can actually get Mystic Keys as well, it looks like, by doing the story mode, so you don't have to pay money to get those open. You can just do some of the story, and I've gotten 2 keys, I think, already. So that's pretty awesome there. Get to the services where I think they're because you don't pay a subscription fee, services are totally okay to use. Some of these are totally pointless, at least for me. The Black Lion Merchant, which literally just allows you to summon a merchant anywhere. It's 5 for 125 gems. Little things like that. The Revive Orb. These little things kind of there, nothing really super special. Upgrades. This is where I think a lot of people, at least I know, I'll probably end up getting the Bank Tab expansion. I can already guarantee that because I always want more slots for stuff. The minis, we'll go skip right here to the minis where you get a bunch of random mini pets you can buy in there. And this is the big one, though, the boosts. Now, the boosts here, I have to say at first I was a little hesitant, but honestly, I'm not too worried about. The crafting booster really doesn't make a difference to me, for the most part, and I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem. It's professions. I mean, no one's really going to feel the brunt of that if you get higher professions than other people. And I don't think anyone's really going to care. Glory Booster is the currency that you earn in PvP. Again, you don't really get anything out of it because at the end game, all of your armor, the armor upgrades are not statistical, but instead purely cosmetic. So it really doesn't matter. XP Booster, again, there's no real reason to rush to the end game because if you're going to do PvP, for the most part, which is going to be the majority of the game, it doesn't really matter because you can just hit the PvP button and your max level, have best gear, max stats. Again, really doesn't make that big of a difference. Leveling in this game, one of the things I love about it is that it's not something that's required to do like in most MMOs. That you don't require to do it to get to the end game. You can jump to the PvP end game immediately and do it that way. But 50 XP for an hour really, or 50% XP for an hour really is not that much. So I think people are going to really have to spend a decent chunk of change to make that worthwhile. Karma Booster, Karma is the points that you use to buy gear. That is for like specific reputations and stuff like that. Again, doesn't matter because it's all purely cosmetic for the most point. You do get statistical upgrades as you're leveling through, but at the end of the day, it's not going to affect you that much. And the Magic Find Booster, which this one is the only one that I'm a little bit hesitant on, but the ability to increase your chance to get rare items. Again, though, the problem is it's hard to argue against it, because in the end game, again, I'm going to say it like for the 18th time already in this video, it is purely cosmetic upgrades you find, not really upgrades, but cosmetic pieces that you find that you can change to instead of actual statistical upgrades based on actual stats in the armor. The big one, though, that I am curious to see is this one right here, the Kill Streak Experience Booster. This one right here, you gain a double experience for 30 seconds, which sounds terrible. The thing is that's cool about this thing is every time you kill a mob, it resets that counter. But if that counter ever drops, it's done for. It's done, it's over. You'd have to use another one. Like, that just seems like you'd want to use it so badly because you could get so much XP for the people who will find runs that'll just nail them tons of XP. That I could see being used in dungeons, and I'm honestly, when the game comes out, I will try them in dungeons because I'm curious to see how much XP you can actually rack up from killing mobs and just not stopping. But the thing is, the bosses will take you more than 30 seconds to kill, so I still think that will lose a little bit of its touch. But for the most part, it's nice. None of these things offer any real power bonus at all. Actually, none of these offer a power bonus, which is nice. They've learned to never do that. The original Guild Wars store didn't have any of that, which is really good. But for the big thing, of course, how much are the gems? As of right now, in the United States, I want to say you get 800 gems for $10. Yep, 800 gems for $10. You can use your credit card or through PayPal, and you do. It looks like you start to get a little bit cheaper, which is nice. A little bit of deals anyway. But for the first two sets to buy, it doesn't really matter. That's basically it. That's the Black Lion Trading Company. Nothing super fancy. It's a nice little touch. I like the fact that I can just access it in the game instead of in Guild Wars 1, you had to actually go log out to your character screen and then go find it. Could have been a bit of annoying sometimes. But yeah, it's the Black Lion Trading Company. That's the gem store. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.